The attraction between narcissists and codependents can be alluring, but it may wind up being harmful. Don't lose hope. You can take precautions. People who have codependent and narcissistic traits are frequently attracted to one another. And initially, narcissistic personality may be appealing due to, among other qualities, their charisma and confidence. A codependent person may first come across as compassionate and altruistic in addition to other desirable personal qualities. This couple may click for a number of reasons, including their shared desire to be needed. Continuous giving is a trait of codependents, while taking is a trait of narcissists. Despite the fact that these two people have a lot in common, their differences could make their connection toxic or unpleasant. A relationship may become unbalanced if you discover that you have codependent tendencies, while a person you care about has narcissistic traits. Setting limits and attempting counseling, however, can help resolve these issues, possibly even before they arise. The first step to improving your relationship with yourself and someone you care about is to practice mindfulness. Codependency's giving and people-pleasing component. If you tend to be codependent, you can find yourself going above and beyond to win someone over. 3 key elements were discovered in people with codependency. The 2020 study that looked at their lived experiences, a loss of identity, and balanced pattern in social, professional, and emotional spheres of life. Issues in childhood ascribed to parental control or abandonment. The inability to accept criticism frequently causes people to lose their sense of self. Additionally, a fear of abandonment from your past may cause you to constantly put off taking care of your own needs. Why narcissistic conduct attracts others to you. People with narcissistic tendencies may be drawn to you if you have codependent tendencies due to factors such as your people-pleasing instincts. Grandiosity, fragility, and perfectionism were among the patterns identified in a study that looked at living with narcissistic personality disorder. Narcissistic individuals depend on other people for their sense of self-worth and self-esteem. If they don't feel appreciated and rewarded, they could feel gloomy or melancholy. They could also depend on other people to make them feel loved and deserving. The narcissistic trait of taking, because most of the features are acted upon or requested by others. Narcissism differs from other diseases in this regard. To put it another way, it usually calls for a topic rather than something that occurs when you're alone. A narcissistic spouse, for instance, may undervalue other people in their relationships, desire to feel superior to or more special than others, want to feel significant, admired, and applauded without bestowing the same appreciation upon others, utilize a member of their family as the culprit, use strategies like gaslighting or narcissistic projection when you're irate or feel cornered. People with narcissism may eventually become so self-important that they only take from others without ever giving anything back. And frequently, this harms their romantic relationships. Am I a narcissist or codependent? You could be unsure of whether you tend to be codependent or narcissistic. Although definitions of codependency have evolved over time, Mental Health America has recognized common characteristics among codependent individuals, such as wanting to save others, going above and above for them, seeking attention, and being afraid of abandonment, putting too much reliance on a connection, taking responsibility for the conduct of others, becoming offended when not acknowledged, influencing others, deficient in faith, difficulty recognizing feelings, experiencing communication issues, encountering difficulties adjusting to change, committing a dishonest conduct, being undecided, a persistent pattern of rage. If you see symptoms of codependency in yourself, remember that it's normal and that codependency can be unlearned. It can be crucial to establish boundaries and prioritize your needs rather than continuously putting those of others first. If you're unsure if you possess narcissism, MHA lists a few general traits of maladaptive narcissism, such as dreams of wealth and success, widespread attention-seeking behavioral style, taking use of interpersonal connections, a readiness to fail, emotions of uncertainty, mood changes. Narcissists may also exhibit codependence. The attention they receive from their relationship might cause codependency in people with narcissistic personality disorder. There is much overlap, because both disorders have their roots in an unhealthy dependency on other people. Those with narcissistic qualities could worry that people who admire and praise them will leave them, and would feel adrift without such support. Behaviors that are narcissistic and codependent share similarities and overlap. When they feel needed, both personality types in this combination can feel secure. People with narcissistic tendencies frequently look for companions who will stick by them and keep in touch with them because they may fear abandonment. When they are liked and given lots of attention, people with NPD can feel most at ease. People who exhibit codependent traits frequently have a propensity to prioritize the needs of others over their own. If you're codependent, you can go above and beyond to please someone else out of fear of judgment or other abandonment-related issues. Can someone who is codependent and narcissistic coexist? If you find yourself in such a relationship, it might work if both parties can start the healing process through therapy and introspection. You may lose yourself in the relationship due to the lack of self-awareness displayed by both the codependent and narcissistic partners. Without the understanding and improvements that come through talk therapy, this may not be the best fit. In other words, because too insufficient boundaries, both individuals in this couple frequently have lost their sense of self. In a more harmonious relationship, the codependent person would establish sound boundaries and assert themselves independently of the other person. Likewise, in a perfect world, treatment would help the narcissist realize how damaging their actions have been to their relationships. However, a study claims that people with narcissism frequently do not use introspection as a chance to heal, but instead just briefly alter their actions. Let's review. Codependent and narcissistic personalities have many characteristics and may be drawn to one another for a variety of reasons. If psychotherapy, boundaries, and medicine are not used to balance the give and take relationship, it may be very toxic for everyone involved. Cognitive behavioral therapy and psychodynamic psychotherapy are effective treatments for narcissistic personality disorder because the greatest impact is shown over the long term. Persistence is key. You might also think about looking into Project AIR for information and peer assistance to deal with your personality disorder if you wish to manage your narcissistic tendencies. You can build stronger relationships with both yourself and other people, regardless of which side of this duo you happen to be on.